vessels. Next comes moderate, where you become confused and forgetful. Your speech gets slurred. Your reflexes slow down and your fine motor skills start to go. Right now, I reckon I'm in the early part of stage 2, and I really don't want to go any further down hypothermia highway, because the last stage, and often the terminal one, is severe. It's a gradual shutdown of bodily functions. Basically, your heart rate drops, your respiratory rate drops, your blood pressure drops, and most of all, your core temperature drops. You become so confused that you start to hallucinate, and your senses are so scrambled that quite often you start to take your clothes off because you feel too hot rather than too cold. And taking your clothes off when it's 20 degrees below, with a savage wind chill to boot, is only going to end one way. Plenty of corpses have been found partially or totally naked on the higher reaches of mountains. I'm not at that stage yet, but if I stop for too long, I will be. Even though I know what might happen, I'm not scared or panicky either. I'm quite chilled, in fact. That's the killer here. That it's so easy to accept, so welcoming and seductive. I could sit down and never stand up. I could lie down and drift off to sleep. All very serene and painless. A sudden vision comes into my head. All the blokes in Camp 2, just up the mountain from me, but right now as remote as the moon, waking up to find that a body's been found just short of their tents. Some poor, stupid bastard who tried to get there but had fallen just short. Some poor, stupid bastard called Jay Morton, in fact. This is my own death I'm seeing. I made it to Camp 2, of course, or else you wouldn't be listening to this. Or at least it would have taken the concept of ghostwriting to a whole new level. It wasn't the first time I'd faced the prospect of my own death, and I'm sure it won't be the last. That's not me being all macho and full of bravado, but just matter of fact. When you voluntarily put yourself in dangerous situations, you accept that sometimes you'll be taken to the edge. As you'll hear later in the book, me being alone on Everest that night was actually the least worst option, bizarre as that may sound. I wasn't doing that climb solo and knackered because I wanted to. I was doing it because every possible alternative was more rather than less likely to kill me. A brief bit of background. I was born in 1984 in the Lancashire city of Preston and spent my childhood there. Some lads who went on to serve in the Special Forces have real horror stories of being brought up, proper Oliver Twist stuff or worse. Mine wasn't anything like that. It was just a pretty normal, unremarkable childhood. I was an adventurous kid who never liked being indoors, and I had a short attention span. These days, I'd be diagnosed with ADHD or hyperactivity, but back then, I was just a low-level pain in the arse. Constantly distracted and getting into trouble. I wasn't a bad kid, and I certainly wasn't a mean kid. I just didn't like school much, and the feeling was pretty mutual. The best times I had at school were on the sports pitch, where I played rugby league. And to any Southerners listening who think that league isn't proper rugby, you're welcome to come up north and say that. So I left school as soon as I could, age 16. And though I went on to college, still in Preston, to study sports science, I jacked that in after a year. Part of it was that I was already earning decent money as a delivery driver, but more importantly, I just didn't want to be cooped up within 4 walls with a lecturer droning on. Delivery driving wasn't the most exciting job in the world, but at least it didn't involve being in an office, which was, and remains, my idea of hell. It got me out and about, and within reason, I had to do my pickups and drop-offs, obviously. I could do my own thing, listen to music, enjoy my own company. But even then, I knew it wasn't a long-term career prospect. I didn't want to be doing that all my life.